And we can even say where we parked.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
We are Chesca and Ben, and this is Sophia, our self-built sprinter van. We live full-time in our tiny home on wheels, driving around Europe. This week we continue our Portugal journey inland, exploring medieval hilltop villages, chapels made of human bones, and breathtaking hikes through granite rock formations. Subscribe and join us for the ride.
We have driven a couple of hours north. We had a couple of messages from people saying if we haven't gone too far north to visit a place called Montserrat.
Montserrat.
So we pulled up the map to see how far away we are, and we're literally right at the bottom of it. That is Montserrat right there. So before we head any further north, we're going to go and stop and have a look. This is amazing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can see, but that is literally where we were this morning.
Yeah. Just there in that little dip.
Yeah.
This place is like a film set. It's so pretty, just all these like completely cobbled streets, narrow little alleyways. I know it sounds so cliche, doesn't it, to say like cobbled streets and narrow alleyways, but it is like being on a film set.
That's very cool.
What a magical way to spend a morning, wandering this pretty village perched high above the Alentejo plains below.
Oh my god.
So glad we came here. This is definitely one of the prettiest, probably the prettiest town, that little village we've explored so far.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that.
We've done that one.
That was an awesome little morning at Montserrat. I'm so glad we went there. That was literally the most pretty little Portuguese town I think we've seen so far. So now we're going to go and find somewhere to have some lunch, and then we're going to continue our drive north, and I think we're going to get another hour and a half's driving today and head off into the countryside.
Yesterday, after we left Montserrat, we drove what, 3.5 hours up north?
We were going to stop and have like a nice little lunch, but we couldn't really find anywhere, and we really wanted to head up to this kind of little mountainous region because we've heard there's some really cool hikes here, so we ended up just putting a solid few hours driving, didn't we?
It was a nice drive though.
It's beautiful, and we've woken up in this sports leisure car park.
Yeah, see, it's not all beach park ups and cliff tops. Sometimes we have to stop in a place like this.
It's really not the worst though, is it?
No, it's not. It's so quiet. Again, it's another town where there's hardly anybody walking about or anybody at all. But no, where are we? We are in
Castelo de Vide.
Castelo de Vide, that's it. So we're going to head to the tourist information because apparently they've got all the maps now for the hikes. Yeah,
if we can find one.
Let's see if we find one.
So, went to the tourism office and picked up, well, it's not the most detailed map. It's definitely not like an OS map, is it? And it's also in Portuguese because they had none of these in English, so this is going to be interesting.
We're having a bit of a nightmare trying to find out where we need to start.
All we've got on the map to go by is the name of the route is PR1 CVD, and I think there's loads of signposts like on the trail, and so that's what we need to follow, and we finally found the sign for it. So if we stick to that, we've got the kind of semi-map and points of interest and GPS coordinates. We should, fingers crossed, be okay, but I think it's that way.
So one thing we found out is that Portugal is famous for its freshwater fountains. And here's one here from 1869. No longer in use, as you can see. It's all dried up. But yeah, apparently there's loads all across Portugal.
So I knew that the Portugal trails are really well marked, but one of my favourite bits is this. If you start to go the wrong way, there's just like a big cross that's like, no, not this way. If you turn around, and then there's the actual like sign telling you where to go. They know we might turn this way by mistake, so they just put a sign up. I love that. Really
and which way did we turn?
We turn the wrong way, obviously, because that's what we do. It felt amazing to be out hiking in the cool mountain air, winding our way through pine forests as we climbed out of the valley below. Highlights included lots of cute lizards sunning themselves on the rocks.
Look at that over there.
So I've just come to check out this little abandoned farm building. I think if it wasn't a bright sunny day, it'd definitely be a bit on the creepy side, for sure. I mean, look at this. And there's, oh, there it is behind me. So there it is, we're going to have a closer look. Oh wow, it's actually like an old church.
Is it what's that?
I think it's an old chapel.
Oh wow.
Don't make any noise and try and scare me. That's cool. Looks like it's an old chapel. Oh, I think it's a chapel.
Was like the original chapel, because there's another one just further up the hill on the top there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, out looking over.
So I wonder if it like moved from here to there.
That would be such a cool project to do up something like this though.
It would, yeah, it would be.
Because it had a lot of cool like features in it, but. Wow, look at this. Oh, that was steep. We've just stopped off at the most amazing viewpoint for lunch. We're up on top of the rocks looking out over the valley below. It's just absolutely stunning.
You can see the, I keep forgetting what it's called. What's the village called?
The what?
Castelo
de Vide?
Castelo del Vide, if that's right. Yeah, you can see the whole village. And we can even say where we parked.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
A geological fault line has created this jagged ridge of granite rocks, with the white chapel standing proud on the top. The ridge stretches away like the spine of a sleeping dragon, who's guarding the village below.
So everywhere we've been in Portugal so far, there's all these trees like this here, which looks like their bark chopped off from a certain height and like stripped back, but there's actually cork. I didn't realise that the cork used in like wine bottles and things like that is pretty much the bark of one of these trees. The amazing thing is that once it's stripped back, you have to wait 7 to 10 years until it grows back. So that's it. Once it's done, you've just got to bloody wait. 7 to 10 years. That's amazing.
I don't think I've ever seen a cork tree that big before. That is huge. Oh, it was so good to be hiking again.
Like I said earlier, so many abandoned places. There's another one here that's, well, I think it's abandoned.
Hello. Oh, you're gorgeous. What are you doing? You're a funny little one, aren't you?
So when we first got here, we were trying to park in this car park here, but because we're nearly 7 meters, because we're quite long, we couldn't quite fit in. So we thought it might get busy, but it doesn't get busy, so we could have easily parked there. However, we drove up here so we could turn around to go back and find another place. What we didn't spot is that these bays here are actually for motorhomes. There's a sign that says for motorhome, so we could have parked here and I could be sat down in the van now with my feet up, relaxing. So we've got to walk a little bit further now. Made it! It's only taken us 4 hours? Oh, that's not too bad considering we were stopping like filming and taking photos and everything.
I was surprised at how easy it was to follow those trails, like really regularly along the route you've got kind of little markers that are sprayed up, like painted onto boulders and posts and stuff to kind of let you know you're going in the right direction. There's even little signs that say there's a right turn coming up, a left turn, or you've gone the wrong way. So it's like you barely need a map as if you can follow those, but obviously the map is really handy just to kind of cross-reference. But yeah, it was so easy to follow, wasn't it?
Yeah,
just a nice little stroll.
You look very hot there.
I am boiling. There was a little walk through pine forest along like the granite edge, and then down through farmland and like cork groves, and it was just really, really lovely. So definitely glad we did that. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm back ready to go. Let's head off to Évora. Did I get that right?
You did, well done.
Normally
you're shite with place names.
Well, that's the problem, because we go to so many different places now, I keep forgetting where. So like if someone says, oh, where did you park when you went to this place?
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
You have no idea when we're there.
No, exactly. That's why I've had to start taking photos, so I know, oh, do you remember when we stayed there? Because it's you know, it's all
you'll get there.
Yeah. This isn't too bad actually. We've obviously been here all day.
Obviously in like the mountain villages, it can be quite tricky to park a big van or a kind of motorhome size van, because the streets are quite windy and narrow. And yeah, if you're in Castelo de Vide, the leisure centre park up has actually been ideal.
Spot on.
And it's only a short like 5-10 minute walk into town along like a flat road, so it's not a problem.
And there's toilets here, I noticed on the side.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's
okay.
toilets here. There's bins. Obviously there's nowhere for like getting rid of your rubbish and stuff, but
yeah.
No.
Cool.
But yeah, so we're going to head off now. We're going to head off to Évora. So an hour and a half away.
Yep.
Got to park up for the night. Let's go.
I found all good stories start with one man left alone. His once
We were worried it was going to be full.
I must admit, I did think that it was going to be a little busy.
Is that the one?
Yeah, I was thinking which side, left or right?
Right.
Right.
Furthest from the road, yeah.
Okay.
So we've made it to this nice little camper van air in Évora. So there's a handful of other camper vans here. We managed to find a space all right, and it looks like it should be a good spot to go and explore the little town tomorrow. Good morning from our scenic park up.
Scenic car park on the main road. That's not too bad. Do you know what? Although it's noisy now,
Yeah.
it was fairly quiet all night, apart from the dog that was barking.
Oh yeah, I forgot
which
about
I think
that.
there's a metal yard right next to us. I think it's got a guard dog and it's just going. Ruff, ruff, ruff.
So you might remember a couple of weeks ago we went to a small little village that had this kind of small chapel made of human bones. Now Évora is famous for having a much bigger chapel made of lots more bones, I think like 5,000 or something.
What a difference to the one we went to in that small little village. The reason this was built was to deal with the overcrowding that they had in all their cemeteries.
So this one isn't free, it's about, well, it was €5 each to get in, but it is about 10 times the size of the other one we went to, so. I think there's an inscription above the door as well that says the bones that are here await yours, which is like super creepy, but it's a beautiful little space, despite the fact it's made of human bones, but.
It's okay. I wouldn't have really paid €5.
I kind of preferred the other one we went to because it was just
the other,
in a very quiet village out of the way and
exactly.
like, not what you expect.
The other one was better because it was literally just tacked onto the side of an old church and it just felt a little bit more like
and you were a little closer to the bones in that one.
Yeah, whereas here it's all set up as a tourist attraction, which is fair enough, it is, isn't it? But yeah, it was good, don't get me wrong, it was massive, but I preferred the other one we saw. Yeah.
After visiting the famous Chapel of Bones, it was time to explore the streets of this pretty medieval town.
We've come to a traditional Portuguese restaurant, tucked away in a little alley.
I've gone for bacalhau, which is a traditional Portuguese cod, and then Ben's gone for some pork steak. The problem is the wine is really strong, and then he gave us this little cherry liqueur at the end, so now I'm a little bit lightheaded walking back.
Unsteady on your feet.
Yeah. Évora.
Don't cry for me, Évora. Sorry, we don't try. Let's just sing that.
You know, the whole town was just really, really pretty. Lovely to walk around. Really nice atmosphere as well. It's kind of like busy enough to kind of give it a good atmosphere.
Food was gorgeous.
Oh, food is amazing. That little restaurant. Yeah, very friendly people. Loved it there. Now we're going to head to, apparently there's quite a few stone circles and like megaliths around this part of Portugal, so we're going to try and hunt out a famous stone circle and yeah, see what we can find. It's a bit of a bumpy road, isn't it?
It is a bit of a bumpy road, isn't it?
This complex of standing stones dates back to the 6th century BC, a timescale that's hard to comprehend. There are about 95 granite stones in total, almost certainly used for ceremonial purposes, with astrological links to Stonehenge and engravings on their surfaces. I just can't get over how big it is, like, it's huge. It does make you question, doesn't it?
Yeah, why?
Why they were built and why people stopped building them. Why we didn't continue. Standing among the quiet stones leaves you with more questions than answers, and as we drove away through the Cork forests, our minds wandered to the people who walked this land millennia ago and the mysteries they carried with them. I reckon just on this bit, how about you? This is a beautiful little spot. I'm just going to park up here for the night, I think. We ended up staying in this spot for the next 2 nights in complete peacefulness. There was something magical about this place that we couldn't quite put our finger on. Maybe it was the bird song from the cork trees that surrounded us, or the gentle lapping of the lake. Whatever it was, we weren't leaving anytime soon.
Well guys, we've woke up to a gorgeous morning at this reservoir tucked off the end of a road. But for us today is a work day, so I think we're going to leave the vlog here for this week. We've had a really nice week making our way up north through Portugal, and next week, if all goes to plan, we should be heading off to explore Lisbon for a couple of days, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, please feel free to give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, and we shall catch you next week. Bye guys. Bye.